Our Canton Councilwoman Mayor Held has the privilege with having in attendance with us tonight, Senator James Renacci, the Congressman from the 16th District. This came at the request to speak to the Council administration and also to the Sheriff. Mr. Renacci, on behalf of the Council, appreciate you coming tonight to talk to us, and we appreciate your attendance. Please, the microphone's yours.
Thank you. I want to thank the members of City Council, the Mayor, and the administration for allowing me to have a few moments. And I will just take a few moments because I understand, being President of the City Council in Wadsworth, that you have a lot of business to transact. But it's always good to get back to the cities and get back to seeing this relationship where citizens are able to come up and communicate and tell their concerns. And so it's great to be back for that. I also want to make sure that council members knew and the citizens knew that on the request of the mayor and the commissioners, I have sent a letter to the district engineer, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, in regards to the Zimber ditch and the issues there. And actually today I called the mayor and asked him if he would see some time to take me down there and give me a first-hand view of that situation. I've always believed, whether it's in Washington or Wadsworth or even here in North Canton, if you're going to talk about an issue, you should at least go see it. So I'm happy to have that opportunity. I just want to give you a quick update on my 17 months in Congress. You know, I'm going to go back to what Mr. Mattis said here earlier about his concern for his children and his grandchildren. And I said that almost 2 years ago, that the reason I ran for Congress was my concern for our children and our grandchildren and a number of the things that are going on in Washington. So I am pleased to tell you that since I've been there for 17 months, our work has really been looking at making sure that our debt and our deficit, which was growing rapidly, continues to grow rapidly, if we can get that under control. You know, my concern is for our children and our grandchildren, the debt today that they have, $50,000 per person. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that. It's $50,000 per person today. And if we continue on the track we're going, it's high as $75,000 per person. So we need to make sure that our children and grandchildren are handed something better than what we had in the past. What I can tell you that we've done, I mean, it's all for me. I know many of the members that I work with, it's about jobs and the economy. It's really bringing back certainty and predictability. You know, when you talk about certainty and predictability, you have to talk about high tax rates. You have to talk about regulatory burden. The National Association of Manufacturing has said that it costs 20% more to manufacture in the United States than outside the United States. And we wonder, well, why so much? Well, 10% is our tax issue. You know, we have the highest tax rate in the world at 35%. Next highest is 25%, so 10% is that. The other 10% is, of course, many times the regulations, the overburden regulations. So I can tell you that we are continuing to look at those regulations in Congress. We're continuing to look at tax reform. Ultimately, our goal really will be to simplify the tax code. It will be to eliminate loopholes. It will be to broaden the base. But the other thing that I think is so important that we have to make sure we do in Washington is make sure that the jobs and the economy, certainty and predictability can be brought back here. We have almost 30 jobs bills that have been passed out of the House that are waiting for the Senate to take action on. I mean, you know, you hear a lot. You hear the President many times talk about the Do Nothing Congress. I can tell you that the House has passed a tremendous amount of pieces of legislation that have gone over the Senate, and they're not touching them. And that's one of our issues. Everybody goes back to government classes back in high school. You remember that if the House passes something, the Senate has to take it up. We've run into a real stonewall where the Senate has not taken up a lot of these bills. When it comes to gas prices, I can tell you that we've passed a number of bills to try and get a lot more drilling, a lot of permits, a lot of things to occur so that we can get additional flow of oil. But again, the plan is already above nuclear, air, solar, wind, all of those things we need to be able to look at. But we also need to be able to look at oil and oil production. So we've passed pieces of legislation. I can also tell you that the Senate has not taken many of those bills up. And one of the most important ways that we can create jobs in this country and increase the supply of oil is the Keystone Pipeline. We've passed bills a number of times to try and get the Keystone Pipeline passed so we can get oil moving into this country from Canada. That again has been stalemated by the President. I'm also a member of Financial Services. I can tell you I'm the vice chair of the Financial Institutions Committee, also a member of the Oversight Committee. I think that's important because a lot of people don't realize, and I know it's affecting your city. In fact, a lot of bills that we're looking at, a lot of oversight is on Dodd-Frank, and many of the things that occur through Dodd-Frank are going to affect your financial situation here at the city and how you invest in dollars and money market funds and mutual funds and all those things. We're doing, as a member of the Oversight Committee, we're doing a lot of oversight on that. We're also doing oversight on other issues. MF Global, John Corzine, who was governor of New Jersey, we've had him in the chair asking questions about where is the money. There was money lost. Many people from the 16th district lost investments. We've been asking them. We've had HUD, and we've had a lot of the other agencies. So we are doing a lot of oversight in our committee, and I'm proud to say I'm a member of that oversight committee when it comes to financial services. As far as this year, we're in a presidential election year. I will tell you the disappointment for me is a lot of things do slow down in a presidential election year. One thing I can tell you is the House passed our budget again. Now, whether you agree with the budget or disagree with it, at least we passed one. The Senate hasn't passed a budget in over 1,000 days. That's a problem, and that's an issue. We're passing appropriation bills, but the one thing that I need all of you to be concerned about and make sure that you talk to your senators and communicate with any of your representatives, including me. We are coming to a financial cliff at the end of the year. You might have heard about it. We have tax rates. If nobody does anything before the end of this year, at the end of this year and starting in January, tax rates will increase on everybody across the board. We're going to have so we'll have a massive tax increase. We're going to have an increase in the payroll tax because that was only extended until the end of this year. We're going to have the doctor's fix, so we'll have doctors' reimbursement issues. We have 5 or 6 issues all coming to the table at the end of this year. And these are the things that I know that we're going to continue to work on the House because we do not want to wait until the end. So we still have a certainty and predictability issue. As a businessman for almost 28 years, it's very difficult to live under these circumstances when you don't know what your taxes are, you don't know what your health care costs are, you don't know what a lot of these issues are going to end up being, and we can't get them finalized because we pass things, it goes over to the Senate, and the Senate doesn't respond to them. But I promise you that we are going to continue to work extremely hard the rest of this year and continue to make sure that we try and bring back certainty and predictability. We're going to continue to make sure that our jobs bills are at least being addressed. We're trying to get those addressed. And ultimately, I can tell you that it's an honor for me to have served this district for the last 17 months. It's been a great learning experience for me as a business owner for 28 years. I can tell you Washington is broken. And I'm hoping that I have the opportunity to continue to get down there and work on behalf of everybody to try and make changes. So, again, I appreciate the time with you tonight. Just to give you a quick little bit of an update, but anytime that you have any questions, you'll find me on Facebook. You'll find that my numbers are open. Cell phone, please call me if there's any issues. And as I said, when the mayor called me on this water issue, the Zimmer ditch, I know we responded as quickly as we could. And I'm glad I had an opportunity to go out there today and talk to some of the residents. So thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity tonight.